thankful to have this time to connect with you today. I had kind of a funny thing. Decided to go to the pumpkin patch with the family, and I happen to be ready an hour early. So I am now connecting with you because why not? So let's go ahead. My intention for this one is to just bring some lightness to your heart. We've been going through the 6 planets in retrograde. We're about to step into eclipse season. I really believe that we've stepped into like the compound interest J curve of the Great Awakening, meaning that if you are not yet consciously aware of who you are as a spirit in this world, meaning accessing your soul memories and waking up, that there will be a lot more people in this world at this time jumping in and joining the party, let's say, realizing that the matrix is an illusion and that this third dimensional reality isn't all there is. So without getting too woo on you, although I may be one of the most woo people you have ever known on YouTube or in real life, doesn't really matter. Let's just get to the point, let's just get to the point. Let's go ahead and tune in. I always like fix my hair in these lives. It's so silly. But let's go ahead and just tune in. Let's go into a transmission. Let's transmute some energy. Let's feel better. Let's just feel better. By the end of this, let's just say that's a point. By the end of this, I hope we all just feel lighter, more joyful, more hopeful for what's to come, that whatever has been going on in your world is now behind you, that you can move forward with grace, so much grace, because you are so deserving of grace, you are so deserving of love, you are so deserving of appreciation. So I want you to really be able to feel that embodied within yourself. Let's go ahead and open with the prayer. All right. As we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. So if you're not familiar with light language, you'll hear me chanting some ancient prayers. I also have our heart chakra crystal singing bowl here with us today. I don't know if you can hear that through this, right? Go ahead and allow your body to soften. Go ahead and feel your root chakra connect all the way from your root all the way down to the center of the earth. Iosiatanai iawapu unua ha'aka. Iatianiawa. Iatianiawa. Mua usitanai. Mua uasatanai. So these ancient prayers that come through as we open in this transmission space, they're designed to help you connect with the ancient truth of your own soul. So I believe that we have a spirit that comes into this world. I'm a medium. I communicate with beings that are, we'll say, on the other side. And I have since I was a little girl. So when we look at these beings that are spirits, and I have another transmission I just recorded last week about baby beings and soul contracts during a live reading. But these baby beings come to me with all sorts of information. Now, I believe that our soul has memories. So our personality, our egoic memories are in the mind. Our soul memories are in the heart. So here's the thing about the world we live in. We live in a world that doesn't support open-heartedness. We live in a world that supports hustle, grind, consumerism, competition, getting ahead of your neighbor, all sorts of whatever, fill in the blank, you get my point. of these things block us off from our heart. Casual sex, rape culture, pornography, anything that devalues the internal connection between, we'll say partner to partner to be politically correct, but really honoring the divine truth inside of our own internal nature that thrives off human connection. So when our heart is closed or we've experienced pain that has closed our heart off because we didn't want to actually feel the pain that was there. And for those of you that are having memories come up, lean into it right now. Let this sound, let the prayers soften those heart edges. Let them soften your heart edges in a way that opens your heart. It will hurt. It will feel uncomfortable. In order to open your heart, it is imperative that you feel through the pain that is keeping it closed. In order to unlock a door, to open it, or in order to open a door that is locked, you have to unlock it. Now, if it's been locked for many, many years, it's possible that that lock has gotten rusty and it's gotten corroded and it's gotten blocked and it's gotten really, really, really cemented. Breathe, you're doing a great job. So when we open our heart and when we ask to start awakening to our soul's true intention and we start accessing these soul memories, so when we start opening these doors, it will hurt. We have to feel through the pain that we blocked to shut down our heart to begin with. Now I'll explain to you how and why this happens. We have biologically and built into our system a fight, flight, or freeze response. So by means of survival, going back to ancient humans, we'll say Neanderthals, okay, like ancient experiences. Let's say you're running it through the desert and all of a sudden there's a saber-toothed tiger or wherever they were living. Let's not dive into that. Your body, your mind, your egoic consciousness will say, well, that tiger killed Fred last time we were out here. So there is a panic response that is built into the system that says that is dangerous. This is how our instincts are passed down through our DNA. So we have this fight or flight response. So the ego, and I'm not saying arrogance ego, the ego as the composition of the entirety of your psyche, your mind, body, spirit, creates a red flag warning that says dangerous. This causes pain, this causes hurt, this could create death. So that ego response puts up a wall so that you know, and it's a safety mechanism. Now what has happened is that if we experience heartbreak or we experience pain in some way, it could even be that when we were little we lost a dog or we lost a cat or we lost something that we held very, very dear to us that creates this sensation of abandonment through love. Or it could be that one of our primary caregivers was low-key, emotionally or verbally abusive with us as a young one, so then we associate pain with love in a very, very bonded kind of way. So the ego, and these are just a couple examples, like there's so many, but the ego creates this defense mechanism by means of survival. So there's no harm and there's no foul as to why you might have a very closed heart chakra, why your heart would be closed, why you're afraid of intimacy, why you're afraid to connect. It's because there's all these locks and chains and barriers and do not enter and barbed wire and poisonous motes and things that we create around our heart under the illusion that we are keeping us safe, when at the deepest core of our human intention is to experience intimacy through human connection. And I'm not talking about physical sexual intimacy. I'm talking about intimacy of into me you see. It's allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. It's allowing ourselves to be seen. It's allowing ourselves to be open, present, powerful, connected with each other. Now I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. If we zoom out quite a bit and we look at what is a mass agenda that's going on through this experience that we've had in the last couple of years. Separation, separation, separation. Us, them. Whose team are you on? Pick a side. And once you pick that side, hate the other side, competing against those of us at the same basic principle. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your background is. I don't care how much money you are and have had in the bank. I don't care what you've gained and lost. At the very, very base of the human experience, we all have the same basic human emotions. So we all experience joy, sadness, exuberance, the desire to create, the desire for connection, pain, all of it. So when we can relate on that level to find a balance in empathetic compassion that allows for different opinions to be created and for love to still exist, these circumstances, when we give ourselves the permission to open our heart and we stop living with so many guards and so much fear, we can continue to anchor the light of our own divinity in our own physical form in this world. And I believe that is how that we are anchoring heaven on earth, our fifth dimensional reality here. Yo ayatanai ikianai ikua suatunu kua haakanai itiono opu kua haakanai akiakia wasasanai iakia wapu uku ua haakana iaku wapu tututukunakai tiono kua pu tututukunakai ia wasiatiani wa wapu ono aka haakanai ia tua kanaha ianai Welcome to those who are just joining us live. So I just barely touched in on a lot of really deep topics. And I wanted to let's say I wanted to impress the importance of being able to lean into these edges. Because when you lean into these edges of pain and you don't run, because these retrograde periods that we are in with 6 major planets in retrograde, and some of them will be retrograde for a while. Mercury is really puts the exclamation point on everything, making everything more heightened, more sensitive, with good reason. Because when we're numb, we're not growing. When we're numb, we're closed off. When we're dissociated, we're not paying attention. When we're distracted, we're not evolving. So these retrograde periods, they show up with, I believe, the intention to encourage us to lean in. So when we lean in and we allow ourselves to learn how trust ourselves and our capabilities of being able to transmute any amount of pain, no matter where it comes from, no matter why it's caused, no matter how intense it is. I know I personally have been feeling a lot of the collective pain from what's going on in Iran. I feel the oppression of women in this way because it's in the collective. I can't say that that's very comfortable, but it does come with the territory of opening our hearts to know that there are revolutions happening all over this planet with the reawakening of the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is a consciousness that exists inside of all living beings, men and women. Women are simply the representation of that divine feminine energy in the physical reality. Yet the divine feminine energy has been wildly oppressed in men as well. Sutuania wa ho'akai wa punakai sitiana ia kua ho'ukunupu uku sututukunakai ia wa punakai hi ihiatanakai sisianai sisianai o ai sisio ai transmuting them for your lineage. Those of you that are women tuning into this with daughters, know that as you heal, the ripple effect is felt also by your mothers and daughters living in this reality as well as the ancestral lineage. So we are literally changing the experience of parallel realities. There's a huge prayer moving through my heart right now that is reconciling past lives where you have been murdered, where you have been betrayed. I'm seeing a lot of like stabs in the back and stabs in the heart. So where a lot of heart pain is being released is where you have in past lives stored imprints of death at the hands of another human being, whether it be someone you knew or loved in that lifetime or just simply another human being in battle or wars. I would be surprised if not every single human in this world didn't have memories of being in a battle. It's part of the human experience to learn from all facets, all sides of the coin. So to reconcile those lifetimes where we are harboring the hatred of being murdered at the hands of another human being that contributes to the hatred of humanity that we have living in us. There it is. That's what this is about. So we're reconciling those experiences where our lives were cut short in those times. And remembering that death is also, I say this deeply compassionately, deeply compassionately. That death is a doorway. It is not as permanent as people believe, and it is not as permanent as we feel it is as living beings that lose ones that we love. In my experience, the loved ones that I have lost in my family I've grown closer to them in death, and that's because I know how to communicate with them. I know how to talk to them, and I know how to teach people how to do the same. It's not as complicated and it's not as difficult as you think, but what it does require is for you to heal the guards around your heart that don't allow you to listen. It's about learning how to listen and breathe. Big deep breath, root chakra connected to the center of the earth. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and just brush your crown. Brush yourself over the crown of your head. Yes, if you're doing this while you're baking cookies or folding the laundry, do this with me. We're clearing, cleansing. Yatanai iakunuku wakaha'anakayawapu unuku aha'akanai. That was accidental, but a little laughter at the end of this one. Quite nice, because that was a lot of thick, heavy energy. And I want to encourage you to not be afraid of the thick, heavy energy. When we avoid feeling the thick, heavy energy, we end up carrying it with us, which actually makes the thick, heavy energy a lot more unbearable. So I just want you to know that I love you. I may never meet you in person. This is the beauty of virtual connections through YouTube. You've probably found this because we have karma or some sort of soul contract, and I appreciate you for showing up for that appointment so that we can build what we are designed to build here together, so that we can clear what we are designed to clear here together. I truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart all of your support through comments, likes, shares, all of that. It helps so much to help boost these videos, to get them in front of other people that watch similar channels. So thank you for supporting that part of the virtual reality that we exist in this world. I really appreciate it more than you know, and some of those things can be very simple. If you are really ready to deepen your practice in these ways, you've probably heard me talk about it, but the 7 Weeks to Embody Your Higher Self is a flagship program that I've created and channeled that I highly recommend you start with. It is a game changer. It will purify your heart. It will purify your intention. It will help you to understand and connect more deeply with the multidimensional aspect of yourself. So your higher self as the consciousness that was you before the moment of incarnation and is you in this body, although we've just simply gotten quite disconnected from that part of us. So that course, the 7 Weeks to Embody Your Higher Self, it's on my Instagram channel. You can find it in the link in the bio at sitara.speaks. You can find it there, also in the description of the videos here. Highly recommend there though. Start there and deepen this practice. It goes much deeper than the videos, and I'll explain to you why. These videos they're broadband telepathic screenings, basically. So I connect with my own heart, what I'm experiencing, but also I'm channeling who's going to be hearing this now during the live, and also who's going to be receiving this medicine for future. And so I experience all of that. They can be very broad, so we move through a lot. Now, when we do these closed kind of courses where you do have to pay, and yes, it was recorded live with a group of people that were going through the 8-week journey with me, it's much more succinct. It's much more specific. And so the channels hold a different kind of unique presence and power to them. Now, the medicine in them is also distributed in a way so that you can put your foot on the brakes and you can put your foot on the throttle. You get to choose how fast your transformation and your transition from maybe not even being aware of your higher self to then maybe channeling your higher self to then understanding what it means to embody your higher self in all ways. And there's still an oscillation. It's not that you embody your higher self and it clicks in and you are embodied in your higher self at all times. There are oscillations where we will consciously or unconsciously kind of come in and out, but the more present you are to it, the more aware you become of how you can control this in your life experience. So, with that, my sweet friends, I love you. I adore you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I have been, oh my goodness, cooking up a next level business plan in the last 3 or 4 weeks that I cannot wait to share with you. But I'm just going to plant that seed. All right, my sweet friends. So, big deep breath. As we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much in love and very much complete. Love you, adore you. I'll see you again soon. Ciao, ciao.